بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين، لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين، أجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف وجعلنا من أعوانه وأنصاره. خب, alhamdulillah, we have tawfiq in such a great day, meet and greet and also reflect inshallah on some of the things of Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam. Your suggested topics were two. The second one was Wصية of Imam Ali alayhi salam to the youth. And when I read this, I thought it would be very relevant to talk about Imam Ali's letter to Imam Hassan alayhi salam. This is a very important letter. After Imam's letter to Malik Ashtar, this is the second largest or longest letter of Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam. So it's very important that his second longest letter that we have in Nahj al-Balaghah. Of course, you know, Nahj al-Balaghah doesn't have every sermon and letters of Amir al-Mu'minin, but it's a collection. But in the collection, this is the second largest. So Imam has allocated this to talking to his son. And also, it is said that actually this was written in Bahاضرين, which is a station, a kind of city near صفين. So he had just attended the battle of صفين, and you know how sad was the end of that battle, the issue of arbitration, and the plot of Muawiyah and Amr al-As and etc. So after battle, after that bitter experience, he has not also left that much, because this Bahاضرين is near صفين. He takes time to write this letter for Imam Hassan alayhi salam. And this shows that how much Imam used his, I think just by itself is a great lesson, to use your time in the best productive way. Don't say, because if it was many of us would say, okay, we are now tired, and there was such a bad story, of Hakimiyat, and we were close to victory, then unfortunately we didn't manage because of some people being deceived, and all these issues. So we would be so tired and so sad that maybe say, okay, for some time I just need to relax and rest. But Imam, in maybe the first stop after صفين, writes this long letter to Imam Hassan. It also shows how important it is to address to the youths. And maybe Imam Hassan alayhi salam at that time was not very young. He was not a teenager, because if it is after صفين, so 25 plus maybe 8, and so Imam was some 30 years old, Imam Hassan alayhi salam. But still Imam Ali alayhi salam has concern and writes, and through this, of course, he is giving message to all our people, young and old, but especially young, and maybe more special the teenagers, because these things are better to be implemented as soon as possible. خب, this letter is letter 31 according to some editions of Nahj al-Balaghah. Is letter 31. it starts with this phrase من الوالد الفاني المقر للزمان المدبر العمر or المدبر العمر, from father who is fani, who is mortal, who acknowledges time. You know, sometimes as a young person you don't acknowledge time because you have plenty of time. You think, you have, sometimes you think you have unlimited time to do everything. So you don't take that much, take time that much seriously. Because you are, mashallah, young, and many young people maybe live long. So you say, oh, time is not important. Other things are important. Money is more important. I don't know. Enjoying ourselves is more important. My clothes, my computer, saving. These are more important. Time is almost endless. For a young person, looks like this. But the more you become older, and the more you see how people are dying, and even many young people are dying, middle-aged people are dying. Just recently, one of the sheikhs I heard was from a family member that follows in Farsi, that they had a sister who was disabled, mentally disabled, but his mother very much loved this one. And he said, I asked my mother, why you love her although you have 6 other children? And her mother, mashallah, was so faithful that she said, because I know that what Allah gives me because of this disabled child is much more than what He gives me for the other 6 healthy children. So this child was ill, and it was very close to death, but then she became better, and the mother passed away all of a sudden. No one expected the mother that everyone was expecting the child is going to die. So this is much nearer to us than we think. Therefore, Amir al-Mu'minin says, I am al-muqirru liz-zaman. I acknowledge time. It's very important. Just to carry watch doesn't mean you acknowledge time. When you take care of every minute of your time, then that shows that you are really acknowledging time. And by the passage of life, your time becomes more valuable because then you have less of it. Once I was talking to one of my relatives, and I said, you are young, and now, mashallah, you can learn many things. For example, you can learn another language. You can learn Arabic. If you don't know, you can learn a language that is useful. But for me now, it's not worth maybe learning another language. Why? Because I have much more limited time than you. I said, without thinking in advance, but this came to my mind, that I said your time is like silver. My time is like gold. Why? Because I have very little left. You have much more. So many things that you are able to do, for me, it's too late. It doesn't worth. I have to use my time much more, effectively, and I have to be much more economical, or maybe even miserly with my time. But you have time, and you can do things that, inshallah, for many years you are going to benefit from, and therefore it's worse. Plus, maybe you don't have that much of other things to do, but later you have so much of busy life that is difficult. So this just this expression, al-muqirru lil-zaman, is so beautiful that, you just have to think about it. Al-mudbir al-umur. Imam Ali says, I am the one that his life has turned back to him. Because Imam Ali by that time is around 60. Normally, this means that you have already gone to the second part of your life. So you are not going, to the strengths. You are going after strengths to decline. As Quran says, "Man nu'ammirhu nunakkishu fil khalq." When you grow and become older, after some time, after, for example, 40, then you go to decline, if you have natural life. So, Imam mentions these things. Amma ba'd. After this beginning, Imam says, I have reflected a lot. Because, if I want to give advice, I should have something to offer. And this comes from reflection, learning, traveling, studying. Yeah, you cannot, give people advice without anything. Just, create by yourself, fabricate. Imam alayhi salam says, فَإِنَّ فِي مَا تَبَيَّنْتُ مِنْ إِدْبَارِ الدُّنْيَا أَنِّي وَجُمُوحِ الدَّهْرِ عَلَيَّ وَإِقْبَالِ الْآخِرَةِ إِلَيَّ. Imam says, after I have been thinking about dunya turning away from me, so many problems happened, especially what happened after the demise of the Prophet. Imam has all that in mind, and in general, dunya is going away. You need, even with your, health problem, you need help with your health because you have problems. With many things, you have sweet part of your dunya, and little by little the sweetness goes away. It's like a honeymoon. Then little by little this goes away. Khob, Imam says, I have, based on these reflections, come up with something. But you are also part of my concern, because you are part of me. Imam says, وَجَدْتُكَ بَعْضِي. I found that you are part of me. My child is not separate from me. He's not a friend, he's not a relative, he's a part of me. بَلْ وَجَدْتُكَ كُلِّي. I find you not part of me. I find you even all myself. Means I am seeing you as myself. I am seeing my future in you. حتى كأن شيئا لو أصابك أصابني. If something hits you, has hit me. If you become ill, I become ill. If you are unsuccessful, I am unsuccessful. Even كأن الموت لو أتاك أتاني. If death comes to you, is as if has come to me. So whatever annoys you, troubles you, is annoying and troubling me. فعناني من أمري ما يعنيني من أمرك ما يعنيني من أمر نفسي. Whatever from your affairs is troubling you, is troubling me. With such introduction, with such explanation of his acknowledgement of passage of time, his concern for his child, his experiences of dunya turning away, all these things, then he says, فَكَتَبْتُ إِلَيْكَ كِتَابِي هَذَا مُسْتَظْهِرًا بِهِ إِنْ أَنَا بَقِيتُ لَكَ أَوْ فَنِيتُ. So I wrote this letter for you, and if I am alive or not, this letter can be helpful for you. If I'm alive, still you can benefit. If I'm not alive, you can benefit in both cases. This is the beginning. Of course, this is a long letter, but I only mention something about the beginning of this part. فإني أوصيك بتقوى الله أي بني ولزوم أمره وإمارة قلبك بذكره والاعتصام بحبله وأي سبب أوثق من سبب بينك وبين الله إن أنت أخذت به. Imam Ali says, my first advice, because he doesn't say my first, but he says this at the beginning, so I am saying my first. He says, I advise you to observe taqwa, my dear son. To observe taqwa. Even Allah to the Prophet says, Ya ayyuhan nabi, ittaqillah. To mu'mineen, Allah says, Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu ittaqullah. Wasiyah of taqwa is for everyone. It's not that those who are not careful with their faith, we say, usika bitaqwa. No, everyone needs wasiyah. Everyone needs maw'izah. Even sometimes Rasulullah was saying to Jibreel, Idhni, give me maw'izah. Everyone needs maw'izah. Inna dhikra tanfa'ul mu'mineen. Mu'mineen benefit from dhikra, from reminders. If I don't like reminders, there must be a problem. Either the reminder was not given in a good way, or I was not open. So there must be a problem. In good circumstances, I should welcome maw'izah, advice, preaching. Even if I'm already trying, no problem. Thank you for stressing on that. بتقوى الله واللزوم أمره. Try to be always with Allah's command. وإمارة قلبك بذكره. Improve the condition of your heart with His remembrance. These are the key things. Taqwa, remembrance of Allah, obedience. والاعتصام بحبله, and grasp His rope. اعتصموا بحبل الله جميعا. In your life, you face lots of challenges. These are like storms coming, taking you right and left, forth or backward. Only people who have grasped something stable and strong can survive. The rest will be shifted easily, turned easily to this direction, that direction. As Imam Ali said about people, that some people are alim rabbani, some people are muta'allimun ala sabil al-najah, but the third people, hamajun ra'a, neither they are godly scholar nor they are learning. These are the people that are, loose. And Imam says, lam yalja'u ila ruknin wathiq. They have not taken refuge with some pillar which is strong and firm. So in your life you need pillars, especially in this age. So many changes, so many distractions. We need pillars that we can grasp. These pillars can be people. Some people, mashallah, are like pillars. Our maraji, our scholars, our grandparents, our father, mother, maybe elder brother, sister, I don't know. So these can be pillars. Good members in the community, these can be pillars. But we need also pillars inside, not just outside. Your taqwa, your connection with Allah is internal pillar. This is Hablullah, that from outside and inside helps us. أي سبب أوثق من سبب بينك وبين الله إن أنت أخذت به. What link is more reliable than the link which is between you and Allah if you take it, if you hold on to it? No rope, no membership, no subscription, no political, tribal, sectarian support, family support. Nothing is as reliable as a link than Hablullah. But Hablullah, you have to take it. From His side, it is available. Like the Quran, it said Allah is like a rescue team. They send rope to a building when there's fire. They don't drop the rope. One side is held by them, the other side is available. Say, take and come high. Allah also has sent rope, says, take it and come high. Then He says, أحي قلبك بالموعظة وأمته بالزهادة. Our heart has two sides. Imagine you have a garden. In garden, you have two things that grow. You have, for example, planted flowers or planted vegetables. They grow. But also some weeds and grass that you didn't want, some herbs that are not useful also may grow. Always these two may grow. You need to make sure that those things which are useful, you planned to have them and you planted them, they grow. Those things that you didn't want and are creating problem, they are taking a space, they are taking water and chemicals, everything from the soil, doesn't let the real ones grow. You need to get rid of them. Our heart is like a garden. The good things in the heart can be revived with maw'izah. The bad things should be removed and killed by zahada, by zuhd. أحي قلبك بالموعظة وأمته بالزهادة. Revive your heart and kill your heart, which means what I said. What has to be revived, what has to be killed, are explained. In addition to zahada وقوة اليقين. Yaqeen is also very good for getting rid of unwanted things in the heart. Because those things that are rooted in our heart, which are not useful, it's because we didn't have yaqeen. It was dark, it was not clear, and when I am in doubt, when I'm not clear, then I let those things grow. If I am clear, I don't let them grow in my heart and become more and more difficult to uproot. By the passage of time, they become more established. So these are giving us lessons that you have to invest on maw'izah. You should find ways to receive reminders. If in your local community you have, alim who gives maw'izah, if I do not online or not online even available on reading books, you need maw'izah. You need zuhd by not being attached to dunya. You need quwwatul yaqeen by studying, by reflection. وَنَوِّرْهُ بِالْحِكْمَةِ. Enlighten your heart with wisdom. Wisdom is very important. In some discussions we have talked about wisdom. وَذَلِّلْهُ بِذِكْرِ الْمَوْتِ. If your heart is rebelling against you and you want to tame your heart, how you can make your heart humble and obedient and not, able to rebel against you? بِذِكْرِ الْمَوْتِ. Remember death. Remembrance of death makes every heart, quiet. Maybe they forget. You have to remind them again. وَقَرِّرْهُ بِالْفَنَاءِ وَبَصِّرْهُ فَجَائِعَ الدُّنْيَا وَحَذِّرْهُ صَوْلَةَ الدَّهْرِ وَفُحْشَ تَقَلُّبِ اللَّيَالِي وَالْأَيَّامِ. By reminding your heart of catastrophes of dunya, difficulties that happen, changes, transformations, ups and downs, try to make your heart able to see. These are things which are very important, and these are kind of preparation internally. Also, we must benefit from history and stories of lives of other people and nations. Your own reflections are very important, but it doesn't mean that you don't need anything else. You don't need to learn about what happened to other people. No, you need both. وَعْرِضْ عليه أخبار الماضين. Present to your heart news of the past people, previous generations, for example. وَذَكِّرْهُ بِمَا أَصَابَ مَنْ كَانَ قَبْلَكَ مِنَ الْأَوَّلِينَ. Remind your heart of what has reached people before you, the earlier generations, your parents, foreparents, or other nations, other people. وَسِرْ فِي دِيَارِهِمْ وَآثَارِهِمْ. Plus, reading history, you need to travel. Traveling and seeing things by yourself is also very important. So travel in their diyar, in their lands, and in what has remained from them, ruins of their civilizations or houses, etc. فَانْظُرْ فِي مَا فَعَلُوا وَأَمَّنْ تَقَلُوا وَأَيْنَ حَلُّوا وَنَزَلُوا. Look at what they have done. Look at what they have left behind and what they have visited now. These are very important things. You find, if you reflect, you find that فَإِنَّكَ تَجِدْهُمْ قَدْ انْتَقَلُوا عَنِ الْأَحِبَّةِ وَحَلُّوا دِيَارَ الْغُرْبَةِ. You find that they have left their dear ones, family, children, friends, neighbors that were good with them. They left them. And then they are settled in the land of strangers. وَكَأَنَّكَ عَنْ قَلِيلٍ قَدْ صِرْتَ كَأَحَدِهِمْ. Soon you become like one of them. This is not only for other people. This happens to all of us. فَأَصْلِحْ مَثْوَاكَ وَلَا تَبِعْ آخِرَتَكَ بِدُنْيَاكَ. So I give you some quick instructions, and we will, he is continuing, but here he gives some instructions. 1. أصلح مثواك ولا تبع آخرتك بدنياك. Bring salah to your place now, your station now. Now you are in dunya, try to have a righteous and good presence. And don't sell your akhirah for the sake of your dunya or in the return for dunya. Get something for dunya and sell your akhirah. No. وَدَعِ الْقَوْلِ فِي مَا لَا تَعْرِفُ. Very important. Many of our problems are because of our words, speech. Don't say what you don't know properly. what you don't have ma'rifah, what you don't master. Don't say. Also, وَالْخِطَابِ فِيمَا لَمْ تُكَلَّفْ. Don't talk about things that you are not responsible for. Because, for example, you are not expert or you have no influence or whatever. No one is now listening to you, or no one expects from you. Why are you putting yourself in the position of expressing an opinion and putting yourself at risk and undertaking great responsibility if you are not supposed to do this? You are not someone that Allah has given you this task. وَأَمْسِكْ عَنْ طَرِيقٍ. This is my last sentence. أَمْسِكْ عَنْ طَرِيقٍ إِذَا خِفْتَ ضَلَالَتَهُ. If we even follow this sentence alone, it's very helpful. Many of our problems can be avoided just by this sentence. But all previous sentences are very important. دع القول فيما لا تعرف is very important. الخطاب فيما لم تكلف is very important. But even this sentence by itself is great. وأمسك عن طريق إذا خفت ضلالته فإن الكف عند حيرة الضلال خير من ركوب الأهوال. When you want to embark on a journey, or you want to start a project or relation or friendship, okay, are you sure this is good, or you are worried? If you are sure rationally, because unfortunately sometimes some people without experience, they're very naive, they say, I am sure I love this person, I am sure this is a very good person. But why he is sure? Just emotions. I am sure I have to do this, I have to say this. Why? It's emotion. So we are not talking about this kind of being sure. If you are rationally able to establish that something is right, okay. If you are not able to establish rationally that something is right, don't do it. Don't go for it. Don't embark on it. In your life, remember this, that you shouldn't rush into decisions, into relations, into projects, into work. You need to take your time, study, consult. If then you become sure, put your trust in Allah and do it. If you are not sure, don't take risk. Take time, not take risk. If it is proved that it's bad, leave it. Don't spend time. Don't waste your time on thinking about something that maybe you have desire, but it's not good. Don't waste time. This is going to drain you, and God forbid, maybe shaitan puts you. Something is proved to be bad, leave it. Something is proved to be good rationally, okay, trust Allah and start. Something which you don't know, leave it. Take your time. Because إن الكف عند حيرة الضلال خير من ركوب الأهوال. To stop when there is confusion, you are perplexed, is better than going through dangers and fears. Okay, I stop here. I hope we can remember and reflect these beautiful advice of Imam Ali salam for the youth and for all of us. May Allah inshallah in this great day of Eid include us among true believers, true followers of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, and helpers of Imam Mahdi ajallallahu ta'ala farajahu sharif. May Allah give shifa to all people who are ill, especially those who have serious illnesses, those who have mental problems. And may Allah inshallah send rahmah and maghfirah and light to those who have passed away, especially those who have rights upon us. And may Allah bless our parents who are alive with health and dignity and joy, and those who have passed away with ease and with his generosity and mercy, inshallah, treat them. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. جزاكم الله خيرا شيخنا for your advices as always.
My pleasure.
May Allah increase your proximity and tawfiq in every step, inshallah. So Sheikhna Kareem, I hope we won't be taking too much out of your valuable time, just to ask you if there is additional time. Some brothers have some questions.
Sure.
If it is possible, if we could go through them, inshallah. And so any of the brothers would like to proceed, inshallah.
Inshallah, just before we maybe ask questions about things that are not related to the lecture, I wanted to ask about something in the lecture of today, inshallah, about the will of Imam Ali, عليه السلام. We've seen that he uses the word the heart, and I wanted to ask, in your opinion, Sheikhna, why does Imam uses the word heart in the sense, revive your heart, have all these things? Why is it not that the Imam uses the word soul instead, for instance? Jazakumullah khair.
You're welcome. Soul is more general. The part of the soul which is like command room is heart. If you know what is in heart of someone, you can say whether he's a good person or bad person. But if you know in his mind or in, I don't know, his memory or in his soul in general, no. What is in the heart, what is ruling or dominant in the heart, decides what type of personality we are dealing with. And therefore we say al-qalbu haramullah. Heart is the sanctuary of Allah. Or لا يسعني عبدي لا يسعني أرضي ولا سمائي ولكن يسعني قلب عبدي المؤمن. Neither my sky nor earth can contain me, but the heart of believing servant can contain me. So the focus is always on heart. Allah yahfazkum.
Does anyone else have any questions? Because if you don't, I'll just ask more. Brother Mustafa, did anyone else? I want to share something. Okay, then this week I spoke to people in my circle, in my environment at university, and I realized some people, I live in Montreal now, but I'm in Ottawa now. Some people, they have some belief in God, but they have maybe some difficulty to have a greater connection to God because they don't like to ascribe to a religion. And I've had this two different people, independent, today this week tell me the same thing, that they have some experience with religion, specifically the Catholic Church, and they have a hard time to maybe have a relationship. So they come to the conclusion that religion is maybe made up, or it's created, or religion is not. God is there, belief in God is there, but religion is not there. How do we explain to these people that religion is necessary, and that religion is not only obligations, but it's a set of beliefs, and there's a reason why religions exist. Jazakumullah khair.
May Allah bless you. Yes, unfortunately, for different reasons, now some people try to have just a spirituality or even religion, but without central body, without any belonging to any organized church or group. They say, as individuals we want to believe in God, but we don't, for example, want to be part of any religious system. There are different reasons. One is that sometimes there have been bad experiences. Sometimes it's also because people of today, many times they don't want to commit to anything. If I become member of a church or Islamic group or madhab, denomination, it brings commitments, it brings restrictions. I have to somehow be answerable to my community, my friends, my leaders. And people don't want these days, many people, unfortunately, they don't want to commit to anything. They don't feel that they should answer to anyone. Why I should answer to anyone? I do what I like. Whenever I want, I worship God. Whenever I don't want, I don't worship God. It's up to me. I'm not happy to, some people say, many people, I am not happy to commit. This is why we have also problem with family life, with marriage, etc. So, for different reasons, good or bad, personal or not personal, unfortunately we have this kind of situation that there is hesitation in being part of a system of religion or faith or community. But we know that religion is something that is, if not impossible, but at least it's very difficult, extremely difficult to be practiced alone. Part of religion is to be, for example, kind to each other. Part of religion is to be able to forgive. Part of religion is to be able to answer. Part of religion is to be organized. Part of religion is to plan together for future, divide tasks, to have leadership, followership. All are important. Religion is not just a book that you read alone. Religion is a way of life that you cannot live alone. So we have to go for systems of religion and religious life and community life based on religion that have no problem or have less problems. If in your tradition, for example, as a Christian, as a Muslim, Sunni, Shia, Catholic, Protestant, Orthodox, if you don't find any honesty, any truthfulness, shift to another tradition that has this honesty, this system. But if you find that your system has lots of good things, people are not practicing it properly, or you try to practice and be a role model for others, inspire others. So it's like a medicine. If there are fake medicines in the market, we don't say we don't need medicine. We look for genuine ones. May Allah bless you. May Allah bless you.
There is a question that was sent by a brother, one of the youth brother that is currently at the madrasa, brother Ahmed, and the question is loving your deen important? And followed by another statement, which is, how can we require the love for Islam, and how I can spread the love of Islam to others, and when they do not feel this love of deen, basically.
So you can share beauties of Islam, but this should come with your own beautiful behavior. If they see that you are a good person who cares for others, who is fair, who is honest, who is balanced, who is committed, who is responsible, then they will be interested in your religion. But if you give best of speeches, but yourself are not showing anything special, you are like any other person, then they won't take what you say seriously, unless if they don't know. Yes, if you just give lecture and disappear, maybe some people, listen. But the greatest effect is when people know you personally and see good things in you, and you say also about beauties of Islam. Then your personal piety and good conduct helps. Like Rasulullah, people knew him already for 40 years to be honest and reliable and trustworthy. And then when he called them towards God, it helped. But if people had no history of the Prophet, or if they had bad history, then it was not working.
أحسنتم شيخنا جزاكم الله خير.
May Allah bless you.
Indeed, sincerity, and as you have prescribed, it is very, very important. Any other brothers, inshallah? Brother Mustafa Fartosi, go ahead with your question, inshallah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Before Mustafa goes, Sheikh, I have a little break, so I just want to say salam.
Alaykum as-salam wa rahmatullah. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing well, Sheikh.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. May Allah bless you, inshallah. Are you in madrasa?
Yeah, we're doing some trainings.
MashaAllah. MashaAllah.
Yeah, so thank you for answering my questions. It's really about being sincere and just being at your best, even though it may be difficult.
Yeah.
Do your best.
Yes.
Thank you, Sheikh.
May Allah bless you.
May Allah grant you the faith for
Inshallah.
Continue to guide us further.
May Allah, inshallah, help. Thank you. Ahsan.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Brother Jawad, can I share my screen?
Yes, please go ahead.
Sheikhna, I just want to clarify this paragraph from Ma'arif al-Quran.
Yes.
This paragraph right here.
Ma'arif al-Quran by Ayatollah Misbah?
Yes.
So basically he wants to say that only good comes from Allah and only good is willed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If the world was all in all not good, Allah would not have. When overall is good, he would create. But when we say overall, it means that then it's a balance. There can be good things and bad things, positive and negative things. If the overall is positive, if good prevails, then Allah would create. Otherwise, he would not create. And since dunya cannot be perfect, heaven is perfect. Dunya is not perfect, but is combination of goodness and badness, and the reason it is created by Allah is because overall is good. Or in other words, we say dunya is the best possible world and perfect for our purpose. When the purpose is training and testing, dunya is perfect. In heaven, our purpose is not to test and try people. Therefore, heaven is perfect for the purpose of reward. Heaven is not perfect for dunya. Dunya is not perfect for heaven. Based on the purpose. So Allah only does things which are best. But for which purpose? The best things for the purpose.
Now, Shaykhna, just I'm having trouble with the last sentence. It says that imperfection will be willed by Allah as a corollary. So is Ayatollah Masbah saying that Allah willed the imperfection, or
means this is a side effect? For example, the doctor wants to give you a medicine which needs injection. Injection is willed by doctor, but not by itself. As a mulazim. Corollary means as a mulazim. Means because there was no other way to give you this medicine, then he had to also will giving injection. But did Allah primarily wanted that imperfection? No. Did doctor primarily wanted injection with pain? No. It is mulazim for what he wants. May Allah bless you. Iltimas dua from everyone. Please remember us your duas, inshallah.
Really sorry if we took too much out of
No, my pleasure. My pleasure. Inshallah. Hope to see you soon.
Inshallah, Shaykhna. Fi amanillah.
Fi amanillah. Khuda hafiz. Thank you very much. Thank you. Ahsan. Khuda hafiz. Fi amanillah.